Hello and welcome to the third session of our Hearts of Wulin game. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. We're playing with the fantastic setting material. We have a celestial playtesting that particular playbook, finding all the typos in it, of which there are many. And just so that folks at home can appreciate this, I mentioned this last time, but I will once again briefly share the Miro board, which Jose created, which is spectacular uh, and brilliantly, brilliantly managed in a way that I can never manage when I try to play around with Miro. So I just wanted to point that out. Last time we left off, our group had gathered together and had kind of exchanged information. There have been conversations about various things, revelations of the dragon and what is coming. And I think if it's okay, I would like to kind of move forward to the next day and check in with everyone about what they're doing, uh, who they want to talk to, and kind of start with that. So, Chow Lu, yesterday you did hear that there's going to be some gathering of the monster hunters today, that there's something going on. And I do think when you get up and are uh, checking around, you will hear that apparently there is some kind of general gathering of the people from the different clans for the people from the Three Mountains to speak with them also this afternoon. Uh, so there seems to be some kind of connection or parallel there. Do you think you stayed in the Spirit Inn, or did you stay in a more conventional inn here this first night, Chalu?
I think I stayed at the Spirit, and
Okay.
I don't think I don't think there's enough suspicion on me yet to need to necessitate that
So
level of.
I think when you go there and you are greeted, you'll be greeted by that same semi-goblin person that we saw in the last series, who just happens to be at all of these inns, who will greet you. Ah, uh, master, mistress,
Master will do for now, or just Chow Lu. Why not?
Chalu, it is good to see you. It has been some time. I'm glad to have you here. A familiar relation of yours is also staying with us, so I will set you up at the far end away from them, as I assume you wish to be placed as distant as possible.
Yes, thank you for that consideration.
Absolutely. And so we'll cut to the morning when you get up. Various creatures are there. You can see that there aren't a lot of rooms that are unoccupied. That there are a lot of various kinds of beast spirits and things that are here. Um, and I think that the general vibe, the general thing you're hearing from them is they're not quite sure what has drawn them here.
So these monster spirits, they themselves don't know what's drawing them here. They just feel drawn.
Yes, they'll say, "I don't know. I had a sense. It was a buzzing in my head. Said go to the north. And I came here, and there's a there's storm clouds gathering. I could feel that." And everyone kind of nods along with that.
Yes, of course. That's quite troubling. Hmm. I wonder. I wonder if it has to do with these mortal interests, these three mountains, and or I suppose it might have to do with this That thing in the cage. Does anyone else know anything about that? Do they have an opinion on it?
There's just sort of general murmuring around. They don't have any sense of what the cage is. They do speak, the mountain cultivators do make them nervous because the cultivators do have a sort of moral imperative to capture spirits and make them uh, go through the process of cultivation to bring themselves up. Uh, 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 but they do it in kind of a less pleasant way. And those who fight against them, of course, have issues, as your fox spirit friend can tell you.
Of course. And above all, everyone try to stay safe. With this many cultivators, there are monster hunters out there, spirit hunters. Uh, so whatever you do it safely. Don't compromise anyone's disguise.
Oh, mutter, mutter, mutter. Very much of that. So, what do you want to do, Chaolu?
um, Kind of on a more meta level, I see Song Tian has a couple elements marked. I might want to
Hmm.
go and talk to him and use this as an opportunity to sort of uh to get to know him a little bit better and get in his good graces, and maybe also help him out with his spiritual imbalances a little bit lately. Um,
Yeah. So let me ask Song Tian. Last night you had quite a bit to drink
It's a
and
rough
not so
night.
much to eat. Um, where would you have crashed? Where would you have hung your head?
I think I didn't make it far from the tavern that we were in. So maybe he ends up. Uh, Maybe he collapsed in a corner somewhere, dark corner in that tavern somewhere, and nobody noticed him. Um,
Yes, I think the first indication you have is the broom swacking at you repeatedly from the innkeeper, who is like, cannot sleep here? Why are you sleeping here? What did you hide in the corner? Are you a
leave
thief
me
in the
alone.
night?
Leave me
Leave you
alone.
alone. This is my establishment. How dare you? And it kind of keeps thrusting at you. Get up, get up, get up, vagrant.
The Salkand stumbles up and protecting himself from the broom, and does his best to walk out into the street, stumble out into the street.
It is
A
so
horrible,
bright outside.
so
It
bright.
is so bright. Um, and I imagine that as you're standing there, your eyes kind of adjusting. Chalu, you will see, because you would have gone to the tavern that you left last night as maybe a initial starting point. You will see Song stumble out, same clothes as last night, rumpled, uh, hazy.
my Also really quickly, just to let you know, Lowell, I did change my romantic entanglement.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Take a look at that.
go over that just for the recording. After the events of previous session, I can feel myself falling for flickering breath. She reminds me of Ashen Twilight, whom I loved but ran away from a lifetime ago.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, just keeping that mind going forward. Um, we can learn more about that later, but we're gonna see
Yeah.
Song Tian lying there, or stumbling there, and quickly rush over to him. Oh, my friend, um, you are in a mighty state.
Oh, Lou, my head hurts. The sun is too bright. Protect me.
Oh, certainly. What you need is some fresh air, some tea, and I was going to say a walk, but I'm not sure walking is exactly here. Just put your arm around my shoulder, and let's see if we can get you someplace, someplace
Someplace
of
dark. Someplace dark.
yes, a place of darkness and stillness, that is not corrupted by demonic energies, but someplace other than that. Um, Someplace calming, yes.
There's a nearby tea house that has opened early. The the inn tea housekeeper will see you walking and is already kind of, please, please, fine gentlemen, please come inside.
Absolutely. Do you have any tables away from sunlight? My friend here is allergic.
Our best customers are allergic to sunlight. I have a fortifying tea. I know exactly what you require. That and perhaps some steamed buns to settle the stomach. Give me just a moment, sirs, and he'll gesture over to a windowless section of the tea house.
We'll go in and we see them seated.
Yeah.
Santiang more collapses than sits, but he's there. He's upright, generally upright. And his hair is a mess. It's in his face. His hair is always a mess, but it's particularly a mess today. So major bedhead for Sung Tian.
Bits of straw stuck in it from the broom.
Right.
So yeah, you get some tea. There's a sort of a dim sum kind of breakfast set for you. Chalu, do you want to make the roll for comfort and support and then kind of narrate what you're doing?
Yeah, let's see what the dice kind of say and move from that direction. But it is going to be a comforting, a lifting up, just a pretty direct, you know, sharing of moral support and energy. So, what would be a good element here?
Earth or fire both feel
Yeah,
good.
presence, or passion. Yeah, fire. Certainly. Let's go with you know, a rousing speech from Chao Lu.
Not too loud.
Not too.
To try and warm the spirits, the stillness in him. All right, so +2, 2d6. Here we go. That says it's a 10.
So, song, if you wish, if you respond to this, you can clear one of your elements.
Sounds like an idea. Let me figure out which one that is.
And if you wish, Chow, you can give them a bond with you.
I would love to do that. I love giving and taking bonds. But I think the way I'm actually going to flavor this is Chaolu is going to say, you know, it's lucky that I'm the one who found you and not that Heartless Dandan. Because I know you have traveled with her in the past, but I do have to say that all of that hullabaloo about the sketch, the amorous notes in there, well, that wasn't her, but if it was, then it was all just a big hullabaloo. It couldn't have been Heartless Dandan, because there's a reason that she has that name. She earned that name. And there is no passion or warmth in her heart, at least none that I've ever been able to tell. And, you know, I haven't been adventuring with her or questing with her as long as you have, but I have noticed that she never happens to have any kind of adventures of the heart, shall we say. And so, you know, something like this, she would have given you some cold speeches and ice water is what you would have gotten from her. But me, I'm your friend, Songjian.
I am glad it is you. You are right. Heartless Dandan is very upright, but she may not understand the human foibles quite the way you do, Chaolu. You are a good friend.
Oh, very few people understand the human foibles like I do. It's something that I find myself studying, and it's almost something that you have to study from the outside, which I feel like I sometimes have that perspective.
You are wise. You are wise. Oh, buns. Buns. I am suddenly hungry. I will eat these.
Absolutely.
And he starts stuffing them down his face because he didn't eat anything yet last night. Only the drinking game with Daming.
It is my treat. All I ask for you is a pleasant song when you are possibly feeling up to it, maybe a little later.
Oh, but of course. But wait, let me eat more buns first.
And Chow, when we come to the end of the session, I think you have messed with someone else's entanglement there. So you may clear an element at the end of the session. I'll put a pin for
Fantastic.
that. Let me go around and we'll come back to the Chaolu song Tian
Quick question: do I take
exchange.
a bond with Chaolu, or is Chaolu taking
Yes,
a bond with
you
me?
take a bond with Chaolu so that you can
Oh,
help them.
okay, excellent. All right, thank you.
Zhan Ming, I do notice that you have enough XP to take an advance, so you have that as a possibility here.
Yes.
So you could consider that. Where do we find you? Have you stayed at an inn? Have you called on your brothers from your sect to give you a place to sleep or something else?
Yeah, I think Dumming made it back to the inn last night, and has probably slept in a bit to sleep off the drinking game last night.
Quite a bit of alcohol.
And I think he's going to similarly look for a breakfast to settle his stomach after last night's revelry. And also probably look for see if he can find Song Tian to remind him of the bet that he made. Make sure that the alcohol hasn't dulled his memory.
Master Daming,
Yes.
like as you come down and come out, you will see that your student, Beiman, is there. She seems to have been maybe hanging out outside your inn, and she will say, Master, I'm so sorry that I was called away yesterday. I wonder if you would have time today, perhaps, to give me instruction. And if you have not eaten yet, perhaps we could, I could pay for your breakfast.
Oh, what wonderful! That would be an excellent place to start our instruction. There are lessons to be learned in everything, including in having breakfast.
Ah, and she will lead you to a nearby tavern, kind of busy, a little more maybe rough around the edges, but you're seated at a table, and rice and eggs are immediately kind of put out, and there's no gracious service here. It's certainly not the dim sum of the others. Did things go well for you yesterday?
Oh yes, excellent, excellent. No complaints.
Good, good.
And how about you?
Uh,
What called you away so urgently?
uh, well, there are many monster hunters here in the city, and so I was remembered that I had agreed to meet with some of my fellow monster hunters to talk monster hunting business, as monster hunters do, because I am a monster hunter.
Yes. Have you caught any monsters lately?
Not recently, not recently. I merely heard of some hunters having caught a very foolish fox spirit out in the woods, as I told you yesterday.
Oh yeah, yes, I heard that story as well. Um, that's what has brought so many monster hunters to this city at this time.
Um, I could not speak for others. I certainly could not. Uh, Merely my path drew me this way. Perhaps I knew that someone as auspicious as you would be here, and that this was my path of destiny.
That makes perfect sense to me.
It does. Oh, good, good. I'm glad it does. Excellent. Um, so that other one who was with you, is that another member of your order?
Um, Song Tian?
I think his name was Xiao Ming.
Yes, yes. My friend Chow. Yes, yes, we are we studied together.
He seemed um, less than respectful of your talents.
Well, uh, he is my equal in many ways. But it's been quite some time since we've had the opportunity to see who has progressed more along their path towards mastery.
Well, um, perhaps today we can go and you can show me the wood chopping technique that you used yesterday.
Yes, uh, the wood chopping technique, of course. The wood chopping technique begins as with many things through the observation of small details. You cannot master the hammer until you've mastered the chopsticks. Um,
All
Allow me
right,
to demonstrate.
please, please.
And he begins to eat.
Okay. And she will sit there with you and talk, and it gets quiet quite a bit. Maybe stares. You don't notice it, but stares longingly at you from across the table, and then recovers and has some more of her rice. Um, and then once you're done with breakfast, I assume you will set off.
Mhm.
And I think you will begin walking. And I think you will, as you are walking along, hear the sound of Song Tian playing for his breakfast effectively after having eaten more buns than could have been shown on screen there. And I think you've recognized Song Tian's melodies.
Yeah, here is another opportunity for a lesson. As you will see, there are lessons to be had in everything.
Uh,
This
uh,
my friend here, Song Jian, he is not a master of um, the same techniques that we are, but he has his own kind of mastery, and there is something to be learned in that.
all right, all right. Yes, and she'll follow you in to the tea house. And I think the camera work does such that as you walk along, you block Chow Lu
Mhm.
until you both come up to the table, and she kind of steps around, and I think you'll hear a sound from her, and she's like, "Oh, so this is Song Tian, and who are you, kind sir, who I am unacquainted with before this very moment?"
Ah, my name is Chao Lu. I'm Song
What an
Tian's
auspicious and respectful name. It speaks of someone with wisdom and restraint.
Yes, I see you recognize your auspices very well. We do have a very proud family name known for their restraint
That
and
that
discernment.
that must be very good for you.
Please join us.
May I have you make an inner conflict roll here? Because this is
Okay,
one of your entanglements, and I
yeah.
think
Oh, it
that you're
is.
maybe a little bit angry here,
It
potentially.
is.
What do you want to roll that with?
Oh boy. Hmm. Anger lives in wood.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to keep control, so metal would make a certain kind of sense. Um, but I think more stuff like curiosity, anger, um, even overconfidence to a certain degree, all live in
Okay.
wood. So let's go with that.
All right. So
That is a
mark
minus
XP.
one. Inner conflict would, and I will mark XP. Oops, dice roller is spinning on me. Oh, I have to refresh. Give me a
So
second.
it looks like you have a 5. So here's
Alrighty.
your second point of XP. And let me hold on that. Go to Heartless, and we'll come back to that moment here. So give me a second to chew on that.
Absolutely.
Heartless, if you could change your name in the display.
Yes, I can do that thing.
Okay.
Someday I'll remember to do it before you ask me to.
Heartless Don. So you have awoken this morning. And what is it that you set out to do?
Think you probably kind of come into the room and she's, in the bathtub. She's soaking. She's clearly been soaking for a while. The water is green with the herbal, relaxation agent. It is, clearly this is like she's been up since dawn and this is how she's easing into the day. But she has her brush out and she has something in her hand and she's clearly painting away and she's like, I think sort of going, okay. Now, and you can see she's got something that looks like, about the same size as that heart was. That
Mhm.
was in Flickering Breath's hand, but it looks deflated and a little sparkly. And like for all the practice, like maybe what a dead heart would look like. Does that
Okay.
make any sense? And you can see that she's like, all right, gotta make it dragony though. What have I got? And you get to think of, you hear splashing. She's decided to get out and her feet like trip across the room and she pulls out a bag and she's like digging through it. She goes, all right, put this in the ink. And then it flashes away and she's walking outside, essentially a scene later. And you can see her, she's clearly off to go find Flickering Breath to see what she could find out about.
Okay.
Right.
I think that as you are walking along, because we haven't had them on scene yet, forthright, you will see Green Saber Jacqui
Oh,
with a piece of paper in his hand, and he is kind of checking it and looking around, and maybe he's out shopping or something of that. But you will see him before he sees you.
oh, excellent. I'll just sort of walk up to him and I'll say, oh, what are you looking for?
Oh, I'll say, Master Don.
It is good to see you, Green Saber.
Moonsworn said that you were here in the city.
Yes, they were most kind when I ran into them. And she sort of stops and says, oh, what are you doing? I haven't had breakfast yet.
I was on a mission for my master to gather certain herbs and materials that she required.
A shopping trip. Interesting.
Yes.
Have you found the place you need to go yet?
I found some of the things I needed to acquire, yes, but not all of them. So I am still in that process.
Well, she sort of goes, oh, I guess I have some errands of my own. Don't want to tag along and be a bother. And she sort of stops and says, what is it that you're still looking for?
And you see him pause.
And she puts her hands up. I do not need to. And she goes, I'm sorry. It was a question to see if I could be a help. I did not wish to put you in a
Your
bad
help is
situation.
appreciated, and certainly you have always been generous with your time and effort, and that's something I admire about you. But there are things that Moonsworn Heart has asked me not to speak of generally. Of course, they don't mean you, but
Circumspection is incredibly important in these things. I understand completely.
absolutely.
Well, at some point this morning, I will be going to, and she sort of stops and thinks of the thing. Do you know the restaurant? The one that has the 3 urns out front? The red, the blue, the green?
Hmm.
I will be there. If you should get done and you find me, I will treat you to breakfast. How about that?
Certainly. I will, when I'm done, I will deliver this to Moonsworn Heart, and she and I will meet you there.
Sounds good. And then I walk away and then I hear what he said and I'm like, brat.
Now I would like that inner conflict roll from you.
Oh. Okay. So I don't know. What's the best element for mornings? Probably what? Wood? Yeah,
Certainly.
they are sort of so okay. So 2d6 and I'm adding 1.
Okay.
That will be a 6.
That will be a 6. So I think his words hurt. Like, he talked favorably of you. He mentioned you. Clearly he's thought of you, and then just kind of ignores your what was clearly an invitation to him. So could I please have you mark Wood?
Mhm. Yes, and I think that as I'm marking it, I think back of how he said that is one thing I admire about you. And she goes, well, perhaps that's the only thing.
And I think that you will see this woman watching you from across the street,
Mhm,
older. She's very well dressed,
mhm.
and I think it takes you a moment, but you will recognize Quan Zinja, Song Tian's mentor, his teacher, who you did not expect to be here.
No, I did not. And I sort of have stopped and I look up and I see her and I think she does the double take and almost like, you know, and then she sort of nods to her to see if she responds back. Because it's been one of those mornings where she doesn't know if anyone wants to talk to her. These things are confusing.
I I think that she will nod back to you and has this look of disapproval on her face. That disapproval that almost speaks like she's daring you to come and speak to her.
Well, that is the sort of thing that would be good for my character development, I've been told. So I will go and do that. So I will go to speak to her and I will bow. I will bow to her because she's a master, but I will not bow too low because I am celestial, even though she may not know that.
And she will bow very deeply and she will say, I know what you are.
Oh, I understand that magic can see many, excuse me. I understand that music and those who understand it can discern far more about the world than most.
Yes, you would think that any musician worth their salt would be able to see through that, but apparently not.
Steps. There are things in Song Tian's way.
Perhaps I count you among them.
Hope not.
I do
I
not
know where he's headed.
That may be true. I do not know exactly what your purpose is in following Song Tian, of drawing Ganfei to you, but I can see that it invites disaster. Disaster that you would like to see.
Oh no, not at all. On that, at least, most honored master, that is not something that I would like to see.
Yet, I sense that you will take advantage of it.
And she sort of stops and she says, I am taking advantage of his path. Yes. I hope to prevent disaster. And then she sort of says, I'm still young.
Yes, well, that's a relative term. Now
Very
you will
much.
excuse me.
And she kind of goes, I will excuse you.
I want to cut back to the inn. Chow Lu, you're there. You're just about to say something to your sister when you will hear this voice call out, Beimon. And you will see approaching the table, flickering breath.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
And flickering breath comes over to the table and says, it's good to see you, Beimon. I hope that you will join us today. Master Da Ming.
Hello, good to see you again.
Yes, good to see you. We made an agreement yesterday, and I've had a chance to find out matters, to solve the question that you put to me.
I eagerly await your information.
Do you wish me to say it here, or I mean, is this something we should talk about privately?
We're among friends here. Go ahead.
Oh, this does sound like something that you know, Song Tian here is still getting over a little bit of a rough morning. Maybe if you guys have some business, it could be attended to outside. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. That was terribly rude of me.
No, not at all. In fact, well, I was also looking for Song Tian to remind him of our little wager last night.
So Chen is playing, and he's playing a song of human foibles, and how we should all embrace our foibles and our weaknesses, and not shun them away. And if I have a moment, I want to use my new move
Okay.
on this lovely congregation.
Absolutely. Is that laughing in the wind here?
That's laughing in the wind, yeah.
Okay. What do you want to roll that with?
Let's roll it with, I think it's curiosity. He's been thinking about what Chow Lu said so breezily to him about human foibles, and I think he's going to, express that in song.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Look
So
at
it's an
that.
11.
3 hold.
3 hold. Wow, what will I do with all these holds? All right. Well, I want people to understand the message. Definitely.
So
So
what is
that's
what is
one.
the message you think like that you want everyone here to understand?
That our human weaknesses are not to be hidden or shunted aside. That they bring us our humanity and should not be shamed. And so each of us has our own weaknesses, right? So embrace your weakness. Don't hide it.
Excellent. And the other two hold?
And the other two hold. Well, let me ask the table this. Those who are present. Well, no one has an element marked that's present, I don't believe.
Except for you.
Except for me. Oh, can I be one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Sure, since I have 3 holds, why don't I do that? Okay.
Okay.
Unless someone wants to mark an element, which I assume nobody does, then I will unmark an element. He's feeling better. Surprisingly, those buns were an amazing tonic.
Absolutely.
And then draw the interest of a person, draw the interest and attention of one person present. Who is it? We have NPCs present, right?
The two NPCs who are present are Flickering Knife,
Flickering Breath, right?
Flickering Breath, who's just arrived, and Bayman, who arrived with Daming.
Sure. Why don't we choose Flickering Breath?
Okay.
To have caught her attention.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think I've seen her from afar,
right.
but I haven't
Yeah.
ever interacted with her. Yeah.
She is listening. She's kind of now ignoring the whole you should, leave, depart kind of thing, Chaolu, and she's like, that's your performance is striking. Master Songtian, was it?
Yes. Thank you for your words. I have had a difficult evening, but I am feeling better this morning. The kind words of my friend Chao Lu have inspired me to music.
Yeah. Master Chaolu, you seem to have inspired poetry in others. That is an admirable thing.
Oh, I barely have any such power. Songtian is being far too gracious and has not the humility to embrace his own inner talents and take charge of his commanding presence.
I see. Well, Master Dumming, perhaps later we can speak on that matter.
Oh yes, of course. And I turn to Bayman and say, inspired by Sung Tian's song, I say, speaking of human foibles, I think there's a lesson for you in this, in that I made this wager with Sung Tian last night, and the origin of that is that as you noticed, my brother Xiaoming and I have had a bit of a disagreement, and the reason was that he falsely accused my friend Xiao Lu here of being a spirit in disguise, and that caused great disharmony between us. But what I've
Gasp,
wagered,
says Baimon.
I've made this wager with
surely
Xiao Tang.
not.
Oh no, it was quite terrible. It's a terrible accusation that he made. That
Not that
brought
terrible.
great
I mean, go
great
on, go on.
sorrow to me. But what I've done is I've made a wager with Xiang Tian to make that same accusation against Heartless Dandan. And so in the same way that you could deflect an opponent's attack by making your own attack, I have prevented this sorrow from weighing too heavily on me by interjecting my own kind of mirth and making a similar sort of accusation against our friend Heartless Dandan.
There's a long pause there. And I think Flickering Breath is like, I'm not sure exactly what all that means. But and Baimon says, I admire your wisdom in finding, kind of looks at Chalu, laughter in the midst of all of these chaotic events. Uh, um, that is admirable, Master Dominic. You are truly wise in your ways. I should go with Flickering Breath now, but I will speak with you later.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yes, it was a pleasure to meet you, Chaolu, for the first time.
Yes, you seem to be a very charming monster hunter.
Yes, I'm a monster hunter.
And I'm sure had we met before, it would have been well, that would have been nice too.
Yes, that is a good way to put it. Yes, yes. I think we've mapped the circumstances quite clearly. So I will be going now. I think Flickering Breath will turn back to the three of you. We'll say I will speak with you later, Tom Ming. I have that information for you, and Master Chalu, Master Song Tian. It was a pleasure to meet you. I would stay, but there are many things in the works today that must be prepared. And she will bow to you. And then it's just Daming, Chalu, and Song.
Daming, you must be careful. That is the dragon tamer.
The what?
The dragon tamer. Remember I told you?
Oh,
The one who could tame the dragon that you bested? Well, you knew that already because you bested her already.
yeah, yes.
Do not
But
take
there's
her
no
lightly.
dragon.
There's no dragon?
Is there a dragon?
I think there's a dragon. I don't know where the dragon is.
Oh, it's in the cage.
Oh, is that what's in the cage?
Yes. Oh, yes. You had been drinking pretty heavily. There is a dragon in the cage. That's about what we know of it. And apparently it's been tamed by this Flickering Breath.
She has it
Oh.
in her power. I know this.
Ooh. Fascinating. I need to fashion an excuse to get out of here.
These buns look pretty good.
I myself have already eaten. I have some training that I have to tend to, managing managing proper chi flows and all of that. This is the perfect hour in the morning to do that. So I'm going to go knock out a quick exercise. The foibles of human existence begin to weigh on me, and I need to make sure that I maintain this human body perfectly. But this has been a wonderful morning, and I will catch up with you both shortly.
Charlu,
Fair.
you are the best of friends.
Very well. I'll help finish these buns. Don't let them go to waste.
Absolutely.
I
And
will
you
help
both
you.
are the best of my friends. And we'll go ahead and bow and depart.
Okay. Heartless, Don, let's come back to you. I think that as was your sort of intended path, you will see that flickering breath is departing from one of the inns, along with a young woman monster hunter, and you will catch them as they are headed off. You are muted.
Yeah, I probably will walk like near them, like alongside, like I'm going in the same direction to see if I can overhear anything.
Okay,
So
that's a
that is my
study.
intent. Yeah. And of course, this is always when all disasters befall me. So
I hope.
let's see here. I think that this is me trying to keep up with them. I had to pick up the pace. So I think fire makes sense, as I have given myself a little bit of a hurry, and now I'm trying to do a thing while moving faster than I would like to, because it's still morning and I've got so much to do. Okay, so 2d6 plus 1.
Absolutely.
So that gives me a 7.
That
At
gives
least
you
I
7.
succeed. Yes.
So you have one hold to ask a question or make a
Yes.
declaration.
What is her itinerary for the day?
She is meeting with some of the other monster hunters over the next little bit, and then she and her brother and a larger group of monster hunters are assembling and meeting with the masters of the Three Mountains. Does that feel like a fair answer?
Yeah, I assume that I can kind of have an idea about where that meeting will be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Because it'll be there by the cage.
All righty. That's the kind of fun I love to know about.
Okay.
So I've got to catch her before that. Okay.
So what do you want to do?
She's meeting with this first group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's when I think that I probably will, at sort of the next little ways when there's a place to turn that I can turn where I know I can pick up and parallel with them again. I will do that. And I think that I'm going to have to go invisible.
Okay. So you are trying to kind of fall in with this first group and see what you can hear in this?
Yeah, and if I get the opportunity to perhaps to lift the heart from her, if that makes any sense.
Well, I think the first thing to kind of overhear and figure out what's going on in a way that leaves you undetected is you're going to be rolling your roll move.
My roll move, yes. So that's water, I think, right?
If that's what you wish to roll it with.
Yes, because it's awareness. Ugh, I hate doing this. My dice are so bad today. Let's see if I can roll over. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, so that's a 6.
So that is a 6.
That's very sad.
So I think that you are there and are getting ready to kind of see what you can see when there is a person who joins Flickering Breath, and you will see that it is Master River, the senior from White Mountain. and she appears, and Flickering Breath bows to her, and Master River treats her weirdly with deference. And the two of them are kind of following one another. And you will see Master River kind of look around. Doesn't see you specifically, but senses that there is something unusual in the present area. She's
Mhm.
a high scale cultivator and leader of her sect. What do you want to do?
Oh, I think, let's see here. I think that I will fade a little, if that makes any sense.
How so?
Um, there are different ways that the groups are, like the people in the groups are gathered. I think that, like, where I am was, like on one thing, but I'm actually going to slide around more the group that has a bunch of the younger monster hunters in it, by me and the like, and like right behind them more, just because there's a little bit more noise and chatter and movement and gear moving, essentially there's just more there.
Yeah.
To see if that helps at all.
Absolutely. I think you will see that Master River kind of doesn't follow you, but does clearly like bring Flickering Breath along with her, in the sense that she is bringing her. It almost seems like Master River is trying to persuade Flickering Breath of something.
Really?
But they will head off. Does that sound reasonable for that
I
miss?
mean, it's reasonable for that terrible roll. It's more than reasonable. No one died, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I will try again.
Okay. Let's come back to the tea house. Chaolu has headed out. Song, you and Da are there. Uh, Song, what are you up to now that you've maybe gotten yourself together a little bit?
I think when Daming was speaking to Flickering Breath, I think about the wager,
Mm-hmm.
Song Tian remembered he'd forgotten the wager. Like he forgot a lot of things about last night, but he was reminded of the wager. So now he's looking at Daming and he says, I have an idea for how to play a prank on Heartless Dun Dun. A harmless prank, right? It can be a harmless prank, Daming, yes?
Of course, yes, yes. No harm.
No
No harm
harm to
intended.
Heartless Dun Dun. She has been a good companion for me. She's always been nearby, actually, ever since I met her. A great companion, loyal, dedicated. Although she is a little formal sometimes. I know where she is staying. Do you want to be surprised by the prank, or should I tell you?
I would love to be surprised. That sounds fantastic.
You will be proud of me, Dumming. You will be proud. And then you will teach me gambling tricks, yes?
Oh, of course.
I have seen you win so many gambling games. I should not have wagered against you. I had too much to drink last night.
Yes, well, it's fortunate for me that you're still willing to gamble against me. It's not about the winning so much as it is the playing.
But tell me, why did you choose this as your payment? Why poor Heartless Dundon?
Just wanted to keep things interesting. And to be honest with you, my friend, sometimes I worry about Heartless Dundun's influence on you, and I think this would be a way to show her that you're still your own person. You're not always going to take direction from her.
She needs to laugh a little bit more. We will make it a funny prank, yes?
Oh yes,
But harmless but funny.
of course.
And then you will teach me gambling. All right. And he grabs one more bun for the road and stuffs it in his mouth. And he says, "Oh, I see you later." And he runs out into the street, looking more spry than he has all morning.
Songtian, you'll hear this voice.
He looks around.
You've
Yes.
heard Gisheng before, like you've heard their voice, but it's often quiet, but it's a little bit louder this time when they whisper to you, and they will say, "There is much magic in the area. My voice grows louder because of it. Be very careful."
Songtian stops in his tracks in the street, and a gust of wind comes behind him and ruffles his robes. And he looks concerned. Gasheng Feng has never warned him in this way before. And he says, "You will guide me if I'm near trouble, no? Is it everywhere?"
It is enough to know that Kwa Xinya is here.
Oh no. She's come here?
Yes,
But I haven't resolved anything.
but she is here.
Mm. I must go play my prank.
Priorities, absolutely priorities.
Tell me if she comes near. You can sense her. But she will know how to find me. She always knows how to find me.
She will know how to see me, so be careful.
No, she cannot see you. No one can see you. Only me. You are mine. Then he hurries down the street.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to say something else.
No, I think that's good. Dao Ming. Song is headed out. Chow has headed out. Song seems to be planning this elaborate prank. What is next for you?
I think I will go look for Flickering Breath to find out the information that she promised.
Okay. I think we will see you moving and looking about. There are more of those monster hunters gathered, and as you approach, you will see Flickering Breath, and she is with one of these seniors from the mountains. I mean, you know how this works. Of course, your senior is Master Iron, and this is Master River. uh, but it's sort of shocking to you because she seemed just like some kind of, skilled, but just a monster hunter. And here she is rubbing elbows with what the leader of White Mountain.
I think I'd like to without being openly disrespectful, try to get a little bit closer to see if I can overhear what they're saying.
Let's have you make a study roll. What do you want to roll that with?
I think that will be. What will that be? I guess. I guess wood. Right?
Okay.
Curiosity. So I will. 7.
7. So you have one hole to ask a question or declare a detail.
I will. What is Let's see. Well, yeah. Well, I'll ask her about what is. Can I ask what Flickering Breath's intention is when speaking with Master River? What she's trying to gain?
It's a little odd when you listen to it because you kind of expect it to be Flickering Breath to be, asking the master, but it seems to be the other way around. And you hear Master River saying, I hope you will consider that putting your energies to our faction will benefit everyone. We are ready to do that. You have already gifted us significantly. And if you are willing to take that next step, we would put our full backing behind you. And you see a Flickering Breath is like, well, my brother and I must speak on this. Does that seem like a reasonable
Yeah.
answer there?
Yeah, I think I'll kind of wait back, hold back until they're done conversing, and then
Okay.
approach her.
We will probably swing back on that. Chalu, we kind of held off for a bit while you were out escaping from present matters. So what do we see of you after you left Song and Daming's presence?
Well, chiefly, I was worried about my sister because there is not a bus large enough to describe the one that I threw her under.
Yes.
And I saw her walking away with Flickering Breath, who has a detection method that I'm aware of.
Yes.
And I did describe her quite clearly. So I was quite worried that my sister might be in danger. I don't want her to fall in love with Da Ming, or I don't want that relationship to go any farther, but I don't want her to die. I just want her to be scared a little bit and leave. So I was trying to tail them, but it seems that Chao Yue is not in any danger.
Yeah, I think what we will see is your sister is kind of alongside Flickering Breath, and then to your perhaps startlement and chagrin, you see one of the Masters of the Mountains show up. Again, Master River kind of ignores your sister in this Monster Hunter identity, and clearly goes to speak with Flickering Breath. And your sister takes advantage of that moment to fade into the background. And You can tell that she is waiting for the opportunity to get out of there. What do you do?
Oh man, can is there, so knee-jerk idea is I take her form and tell her to get out, but I don't know if we can do a switcheroo like that quite so graciously. If she is unable to get out of line of sight, then I don't know if we can quite pull that off. Maybe I can make a distraction.
Sure.
Why am I putting my neck on my line for my stupid sister? Oh God, I'm gonna regret this. What would a good distraction look like? All I need to do is get them to look away for just a few moments, right? So
Absolutely. So it's a simple overcome.
yeah, I'm just gonna assume the form. There's got to be either like some sort of faceless red shirt guard that I can assume the disguise of and go knock something over, bump into a bell, or make a noise that draws everybody's eyes 180 degrees away from where she is. And she is a smart enough fox. She will do the thing she needs to. She'll get away.
Absolutely. What do you want to roll that with?
Creativity feels like the easy in here.
Okay.
Which I did upgrade, so that is +3.
Excellent.
Overcome. That is a 12.
Absolutely. What is it that you knock over that doesn't seem out of place but does draw everyone's attention?
These are cultivators and things like that. So I think something easily enough writable. And actually, what I think it is something breakable. A giant a vase, a giant vase or something gets knocked over, and it's not that it falls and breaks, but somebody cries out and everybody's attention comes over, and Xiao Lu in this this guy's form just like catches it in the very last second, saves this priceless porcelain vase, and there might be like some bamboo or something sticking out of it, but the vase is really what's important. And so we just slowly bring it back up, upright. Maybe we even like have it to where if any suspicion would be looking at our way, it might look like somebody else might have actually done it. The guy next to us, might have more suspicion on them, but yeah, we set that back up, right? And just nope, crisis averted.
I think Flickering Knife will look at the other monster hunters that are there. The sense you get when that happens is that she's maybe a little embarrassed for the monster hunters. Like she apologizes to Master River at that point. She's like, "It was, there are many of us gathering here. Some of my comrades have never been in such a sophisticated place as this. So I hope you will excuse them for that. But your sister is vanished to the four winds when you create that distraction, Xiao Lu.
Fantastic. Then we'll probably double around and we'll try and intercept her. I do need to tell her that she is in danger, that Flickering Breath is aware of her disguise and has a detection method, but I don't know if we need to play that out necessarily.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Heartless Dandan, let's come back to you. Muted.
There was a nice distraction there.
Yes, do you want to take advantage of that?
Yes, I do, because it's the closest thing I have to an advantage. So
what do you want to do with that?
I think it allows me to switch the direction that I'm approaching from.
Okay.
I have seen Flickering Breath sort of speaking with the master and then sort of looking back, and not at the monster hunters. My guess is I know that she was traveling with her brother or something, so maybe she's looking for someone else him or one of their party. And so I'm kind of like more in that direction than in like over by the master per se. And I'm just waiting for an opportunity to see if I can approach her and lift that heart.
It is a challenge here because, of course, she and the master are together.
Mhm.
And so I think this is a difficult thing to do.
I can wait. I'm just waiting for that opportunity. Let's see here.
What are you going to do to
Make this work.
to
Yeah.
make this work, to reduce the scale of this challenge?
That's a good way of putting it. I think there is that thing, like the third time that she does look back towards that direction, I'm like, that's it. I'm just gonna go and wait for her. I know that eventually she's gonna break off from the master and go. And that will be my opportunity. So instead of approaching while the master is there, of pushing it right there in that moment when they're in that conversation, I'm going to wait until Flickering Breath has sort of broken off.
All right. We will give you advantage on that roll. When the
nice.
time comes, there's going to
Okay.
be an event before that,
Okay.
but it will set things up for you to move on that. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I am sorry that I've chosen something that is
No.
such
No,
a
we'll play that out. We are at about 9:50 my time. Let's take 10 to get us to the hour, and then we'll go to that. So take a 10-minute break and we'll continue. So let's start with song. I want to kind of check around here. Song, you've had this warning from your spirit guide. And I think as you are kind of going around and plotting out your prank, you definitely see that there's some kind of like people are arriving, cultivators and wandering heroes and monster hunters and others, and there's clearly something afoot. And I think you probably will, catch sight at least once of Ganfei there, who kind of is curious and as always kind of gets drawn towards these things. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, so I think we see Song Qiang stepping out of an apothecary. And he looks in his hand and there's a little vial of something, small little vial, and he puts it in his pocket and he smiles. And then he sees there's like a plaza outside, and he sees Ganfei, and he looks around to make sure Heartless Dandan is nowhere. And makes his way over to Ganfei. He's a little bit embarrassed by what happened yesterday, but he wants to somehow reconnect with Ganfei.
And Ganfei will see you. And Song, you're still in town.
Yes, me and so many other people. It seems the town gets fuller and fuller with every hour.
Yes, the cultivators are assembling people for some kind of meeting. I don't know if it's the selection of the people who are going to join the ranks or the testing or what, but I had the impression it's something else.
Will you be among those tested?
No, no, no. I am merely a musician. My skill, I am no wuxia. I am I am not meant to go on the mountains. Um, though I have been accused of being part of the Silent Harmony by those who see me traveling and think I am amongst that number of spy musicians trained in secret. But no.
No, no, you are too good of heart, my friend. Those people do not know you. To
Yes, I've heard.
slander you so.
Well, I mean, certainly there's a certain appeal to that kind of secret, dangerous life, but I've heard very bad things about members of that group.
Yes, maybe. But when will we play together? Will we play tonight?
Perhaps this evening. I assume after this presentation there will be people wanting to celebrate. I'm hoping. And that's when people pay coin for musicians.
The two of us can play together then.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Impress them. All these
Uh,
people in town must have a lot of coin. And also, word will spread of your amazing musical prowess. That will be good.
You are very generous in your assessment, but I think we both know that of the two of us, I am an accompanist to your tunes, my friend.
And Song Tian blushes. And he says, you are too humble. But
And Mistress Don Don? Where is she? He says.
I hope she is not watching us.
What do you mean? I thought she was a friend of yours.
She is, but she is always dissuading me from. She's very protective.
Protective? Inner conflict, please.
Okay, what I have to choose an element. Let's see. Reading the red ones. The uncertain is what I'm feeling, uncertainty. So why don't I do it with water? That's a one. Let's see. Let's see what happens. That is a 6.
He says, I mean, protective. I didn't think there was anything between you and her.
Wait, I have to make a decision about whether I'm going to like try to fix that role or just take it.
It's up to you.
How
It'll
could
shape what I
fix it?
say next.
It will. I'll take the failure.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing between you and Heartless Don Don.
She has been a companion, a dear companion on the road since I met her.
But
Always there.
but there's nothing romantic between the two of you. I mean, I don't mean to speak out of turn.
No. Of course, no.
Oh, that is a great relief to me.
It is.
I mean, what is Miss Dan Dunn like?
Oh. She's very.
I keep running into her and I speak to her and we have conversations, but I never get to know her and I see her. She is I perhaps I am beneath her. Perhaps I shouldn't even think of such a thing.
Oh, she Oh. She's very put together. I do not know if she has romantic feelings.
Has she ever spoken of me?
Only to tell me to steer clear of you. But now I do not understand why. But maybe I do understand.
But she does think of me.
Yes, often
Oh,
she does. She speaks of you often.
well, that is hopeful. Perhaps I do not overestimate myself.
Is this the part where I run away? What am I?
No, I think I've given you your hard move. Now you can choose what you want to do.
Okay. Okay. So from inner conflict.
Yeah, this was a miss. So I've given
Yes.
you the hard move. I don't think you need to mark anything because this is pretty bad.
Yes,
You
definitely
get to
that.
choose what you would like to do now.
Okay. I can either flee the scene or mark
Oh,
an
no,
element.
no.
Oh, no.
You can do
Oh,
whatever
that's
you
already
want
done.
now
I see.
because I've already served you your punishment sandwich.
My punishment has been served.
Do you remain there? Do you withdraw? Do you keep yourself steady? What do you think?
I think Song-chan will withdraw. I think he has a lot. That's a lot for him to absorb. And he excuses himself and says, "My friend, I have an errand to run. I must go."
Oh,
And
but we will play this evening together?
yes, yes, definitely. I will find you. And I think he runs off.
Bow to you.
Oh, and did I just have? Oh, but there were the only two people play. I just had inner conflict. Does that trigger my move?
When you roll a hit on inner
Oh, I didn't roll a hit.
conflict.
No, I did not roll a hit. Okay, no. Okay, we're good.
Chaolu, you've gotten your sister away from a flickering breath, and I imagine we cut to you and her, and she will thank you. She will say, "I did not know she was going to meet with one of the Celestial Masters."
What can you tell me about them? Have you been here longer than I have?
Just a little bit. I know that flickering breath has been, and her brother came from the north, and they had some monster hunters with them, and they have been summoning other monster hunters.
And what else can you tell me about flickering breath? You've found your way into her good graces, it seems.
She pauses and she said, "When we left the tea house, she turned to me and asked your name again." As if she hadn't quite caught it when Song Tian was playing. And I told her your name, and she got very thoughtful. Like she was, I don't know.
I don't know if that's enough for inner conflict yet, but it's gonna put me down a bad road.
Hey,
Unless you think that would be enough for inner conflict. I'm
do
good
you
either
think it
way.
rises? So it's up to you. Do you think that rises to the level of inner conflict?
If not, I'm gonna go seek her out in the next scene.
Okay.
So I'm but Chow
I think that's possible. I think we can cut to that.
Yeah, let's do.
And I think that this is the moment when you approach, she sees you. Master River is there. but she will turn to Master River and say, "You will excuse me." And Master River bows to her and actually goes away. And I'm telling this very specifically because Heartless Don Don is watching in the distance. And she will turn to you and she will say, "You are Chao Lu?"
And we'll bow and say, your memory is impeccable. Yes. My name is Chao Lu.
That is an unusual name.
I've been told it's renowned for its discernment and patience and understanding. Though meanings and names, they are so mercurial, it seems.
It is a name that I have heard before.
I could not imagine. There is perhaps another Chao family somewhere across China. It's not the oddest thing in the world.
No, it's not, but my grandfather mentioned someone by that name.
Heartbeat is going dung 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 dung.
I mark
Wow.
it particularly because he told me never to say it in front of my grandmother.
There it is. Let's go. Yeah, that's inner conflict for sure.
Okay, let's have you roll.
Either earth or metal, caution, focus, or control, calculation, reflection. I think metal actually. Fear also is beginning to kick in a little bit here. So
That seems fair.
let's just do a flat 2d6 and see where we go. Conflict metal. Oh, that's bad. That's a 3. There are no bonds that will get me out of this mess.
She looks at you and she says, "Because the Chao Lu that my grandfather knew was a fox spirit." And I was not to mention it in front of my grandmother because my grandmother had stolen a tale from that fox's relation. But that's so long ago, I am sure that you are not the same Chao Lu as knew Wu Yanwen and Peerless Salon.
That Chao Lu certainly must be dead. That must have been so many years ago.
And you see her hand start to move inside of her jacket. Heartless Dan Dan.
That conversation
There's an
is so
intense
I know.
right now. But
All right.
you see her start to lift her jacket open because
that's
she's
excellent.
reaching inside for something.
Yes. I don't know what it is, but I also know that that's where she keeps the heart, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So I am going to, I am invisible. I think that I will attempt to use my super excellent, awesome move that is here somewhere, Demon Catcher. And see if I can, should we say, catch up to her and maybe get a hold of that heart.
Now, you won't be invisible because you can't like
Oh, I
that's an
can't?
everyday thing, but you can
Okay.
come by, bump in. I mean,
Oh,
her
yeah.
focus is on Chao Lu. Chao Lu's focus is on her.
Okay.
So you can certainly do that.
I will attempt it.
Okay, what do you want to roll that with?
I'm going to roll it with water because it's my best chance.
Absolutely.
I don't have any bonds with Chao Lu though, do I?
But you've got a couple of bonds to burn.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna actually burn my bond with Green Saber Jacque, because if I can get this taken care of, maybe I can go have breakfast still.
You don't have to spend it till you roll.
Okay. Here I go. I'm
you're
so
all
nervous. I know I'm
nervous.
gonna roll horribly. This is the thing. It's just how it goes. Okay, so I'm rolling 2d6, I'm adding 2. I
Okay,
really could use a good roll. Oh my gosh, I got it.
got it.
So that's an 11. So on a 10 plus, I can swap one item for another without being noticed.
So, Chao Lu, you see this, there's intense, like you know what she's reaching for, and then suddenly she's bumped.
Mhm.
And at the corner of your eye, Chao Lu, you'll see Heartless Don, is doing that kind of pat of, oh, I'm sorry, and is moving on. And your eye contact is broken with flickering breath. What do you do?
The smart thing is run. But she's now marked me, so it's like the running's just gonna buy time. Yeah, I gotta ditch, I think.
Okay.
I can't think of anything better to do here.
All right. Then I think that is a simple overcome to vanish out of the scene without her like noticing while she's distracted by Heartless Don. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, although if I do that, that's basically admitting guilt. I still have plausible deniability.
It is.
Oh God. Oh no. Then we can't do that. I need to maintain this facade. What could we do instead?
It was unusual that Heartless Don just came out of nowhere and bumped
It
into her.
certainly is. Wow, how strange. Oh gosh. Maybe we'll then we're gonna okay, yes. A true fox spirit would run away.
Yes.
And give away the game. So let's not do that, and let's go. Wow, she bumped into you. Let's go and try and steady flickering breath. And are you all right? Oh my gosh, how clumsy.
Let's have you roll Hearts and Minds.
Would this count as creating or enhancing misunderstandings between people?
I
Probably
think
not.
think not, but I do think that she is at least susceptible to your words.
Okay, then certainly creativity, speed, in terms of fast thinking have
Right.
to kick in here. So we'll roll with fire. Hearts and Minds, fire. 13.
13. So you will steady her, and you see, she kind of stops, like switches where she was reaching, and you see her kind of check something, and like confirms that something is there, and goes,
Is everything all right?
it is. I'm sorry. I accused you of something. I apologize.
Oh,
That was rude of me.
it's quite all right. Although uh I have heard the story of Ash and Twilight. It's one of my favorites. I grew up hearing the story of the that was the Weir Tigers, wasn't it?
That's my understanding. My grandfather knew Ash and Twilight. I think there was some connection between him and her, but something happened, and he met my grandmother, Pierre de Salon, and joined forces with her. And then there was the wars with among the sects.
I know, terrible, terrible. So many heroes lost.
Many groups destroyed where there was no need. It is part of the reason that my brother and I are here, is to reclaim and redeem what we have lost.
What a noble cause. Uh I'd love to hear more about all of this. Um and don't worry about accusing me of being a monster. It's just a silly name, an unfortunate coincidence. In fact, if I had to say anything, it's that this name has just been a curse, and it's why I don't use it very often, more than necessary.
I wonder if I could impose on you, and this is because you're 13 plus, if you could do me a favor.
I would be honored.
I need to go. There are to be present at this ceremony that's happening here soon. Uh, and I'm going to be occupied with that. You are a friend of Dom Ming.
Yes, that's yes.
He set me a task to look into a matter of why these monster hunters attacked him in the woods. And I found out why. They weren't after him. And she proceeds to tell that story. And she says, would you please relay that to Dom Ming for me?
Certainly, absolutely, I shall.
Thank you. We will speak again.
I I look forward to our next meeting, and may the hours pass quickly.
And you see her kind of look and blush, and nod and head off. Heartless Don, you've got the dragon's heart.
All right. And that's it. I had to get that so that, and with not too much time in between when I actually go to grab the dragon. So, but the first thing I do is I do stop and I essentially secrete the heart away, if that makes any sense. So
Okay, put it in a container.
I will put it in a container, and essentially she just pulls a piece of writing silk out of her bag, well, out of her sleeve probably, and she folds it like kind of an ornate fan kind of thing, and puts it in there.
Sure. There is a role for this.
There is a role for it, is there?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. There is.
Nice job, Jiaolu, by the way.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, so yeah, so I will do that. I will roll that with well, I'm trying to move fast, so I guess I'll do it with fire.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a 7.
That is a 7. So you will put it in the jar. but this process will change it slightly.
Yes. I'm keeping it safe. So yes, I will probably, how do you say? Yes,
Okay.
my
Which is-
fingerprints are on it.
yes.
I'm so sorry.
So what is it that you want to do?
Now I actually can rescue him. He's been defeated, right?
Again, the problem is that you've got those chains and things, like you have to
Mhm.
overcome those things.
Those.
And you will see that at this point, all of the cultivators are gathering at that place.
All right. I saw the chains and the thing that was binding him. So what do I know of those things? Let me think back. Give me that story.
Do you
I
want
will
to
make
make
a
a study roll?
I long to make a study roll and
Absolutely,
endanger
because
more
you fail these
NPCs
so
and
many
keep on
times.
doing
It is a path we enjoy leading you down.
Okay, yes, here we go. Let's see here. I am, yes, feverishly thinking. So we'll do fire again. So that's a 6 plus a 1 is a 7.
Evan, you have one hold to ask a question or make a declaration.
Let's see here. How can I interrupt the binding?
So I'm going to stop you. Are you asking me that question?
What do you mean? Oh, I can tell you how I do it.
This
Ah,
do not forget that this is a possibility.
Okay.
Because I'll be certainly glad to give you a horrible, complex way that you would have to do that. So
So it is a binding that's based on symbols. And with my ink, if I put the symbol for it to disengage, it will do it for a few seconds until it burns the ink away. And I will have that chance.
okay. So you've got that process.
All right.
And I think you'll see the gathering of the cultivators, the masters, and everyone there. Daming, let me come back to you. What are you up to? Chao Lu was with you briefly. You have some affection for Chao Lu, but you haven't had a chance to really speak with them.
Yeah, I think well, I had been looking for, or I had been waiting to talk to Flickering Breath.
Okay.
But it sounds like Flickering Breath relayed her message to Xiaolu. So I will go. I will see if I can find Xiaolu.
Yeah, I think it as it happens as you're kind of heading towards the square to see there's this gathering. You know that she is there, and you will see Chao Lu moving away from the square. Chao Lu, you'll see Da Ming.
Yeah, we were gonna go look for Heartless Don Don because boy wasn't that strange. But when I see Daming, we'll get this taken care of first. Yeah, we'll head over in his direction. Daming, just the person I was looking for.
Xiaolu, I was just looking for Flickering Breath. She had some information for me.
Yes, in fact, I just saw her. She's busy doing sect leader organization things, but she wanted me to relay.
Yes, I saw some of that. She was talking to Master River earlier. I don't know if you were aware of that, but a very interesting situation. I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
No, but I did notice that Master River does show a lot of deference to her, which being one of the mountain leaders, while Flickering Breath is supposedly just a monster hunter, although a very good one. I should say her talents are quite peerless, from what I have seen.
Well, I bested her easily enough.
Well, then, even there, that just goes to show that there must be some kind of divinity in your blood somewhere, to have the level of talent that you have to best her as easily as I'm sure you did.
Oh, you flatter me, my friend.
Oh, please. I've been traveling with you long enough to be able to listen. I might just be taking my first steps on cultivation and learning the ways of the spiritual world, but I can tell, I can feel that there is a magnetism and a power that comes from you, must be from a spark of divinity. And if it's not, then it must be something else.
I Chalu, I also feel this magnetism from you.
Oh no, I am of no special power. I'm just a humble storyteller, is all that is. But we are getting distracted. I uh, I I I did manage to speak with Flickering Breath, and it's about that monster attack. It turns out they were not after you, so your power must have set off whatever traps in the ambient area, because as you know, I was caught by one of them. They claim to
You were caught?
yes, that's why I cried for help.
That's right. Yes, but
But
not by the traps.
well, it was a very complicated trap, the kind that can latch onto even somebody. In fact, possibly because I had just a little bit of cultivated energy, that might be why they it was able to pacify me until you came and saved my life, like the daring heroes of old. uh but but yes, apparently they were after a fox spirit of some kind, that happened to be in the area.
Curious. There are rumors of dragons and now of fox spirits.
Oh, and don't forget the weir tiger. The weir tiger is also supposedly in these hills as well. So
Oh, I
it's
thought
a
that was just a legend of ancient times. Is that
well, apparently there is still one. In fact, actually, I heard this from another group of monster hunters, that they did manage to capture a number of weird tigers. I'm not sure how many exactly, but one did notably escape. So now there is a fox spirit, a dragon, and a weird tiger somewhere in proximity to this area, which probably explains the sheer number of cultivators and monster hunters and all of the curious sorts that are gathered around here. A nexus of energy is happening here. We're in the
exactly the
middle of
word that
something
I was
great.
going to use myself?
See, that's you have that intelligence, that I keep telling you that you have. It must be from that gambler's brain. You use it so well.
So, what why is it that they're looking for this fox spirit?
Oh, probably to capture it and harvest its energy for their wicked cultivation. Some people, they do that. It's really, well, I don't suppose it's an awful practice. They are targeting monsters and animal spirits more often than not, but sometimes they'll just trap any old thing that happens to wander into their net. It's a brute force way of cultivation. It's uh, used for or by people who are maybe looking for shortcuts in on the path, so far as I'm concerned.
Well, that makes sense to me. I can't feel too badly for some fox spirit that wanders into a trap and has its energy harvested. Where were you going, my friend? I'll accompany you.
Oh, I saw Heartless Dandan nearby, but I lost sight of her in the crowd. Although, seeing as she was so interested in that cage, I have a feeling I know where we will find her.
Oh, I wonder if Song Tian has managed to pull his prank yet.
Song Tian is pulling a prank.
Yes, he's pulling a prank on Heartless Dandan. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it will be hilarious.
Oh, then we definitely have to stand by and watch. This is going to be fabulous, and I think we'll head over towards the cage.
Yes, lead the way.
So you head over that way. Let's just check into Song what you're doing before I move to this next bit.
I think the camera pans away from them, the duo there, across the square, and then sinks like below the crowd, so at leg level or knee level,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes across some steps, and we see Song Tian there sitting on the steps, looking very morose, and playing. And there's a gust of wind around him, moving the dust and the leaves. And he begins playing a song of utter despair in the middle of this crowd, in the middle of this vortex of magic that he's been warned about. And whatever you give your heart to will betray you. Whatever you give your trust will let you down. He's going super melodramatic here.
Why? What do you want to roll that with?
I think I'll roll it with Laughing in the Wind, although the title doesn't seem to, of the move doesn't seem to apply, but it is his art.
To be fair, Laughing in the Wind was quite a melancholy song, if I
Oh,
remember it
yes.
as well.
Oh, was it? Oh, is it a
Oh,
song? I didn't realize that.
it is a song that actually gets a bunch of people killed in a thing.
In a show of the same name.
Yes.
Oh, it's from a show. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, perfect then. So I guess I will probably do it with water because there's a sense of depression. So let's go ahead and roll. One. Ooh, it's a 5. So that's a failure unless I do something.
Get to mark XP if you take the fail.
Wow, I've had so many fails. I could put more ticks on my clock and just let the horrible things happen. Is that piling it on?
You could certainly do that.
I'll take the fail.
You are playing and you will hear a voice in your head, and it's not your spirit. You hear a voice and it will say, "You and I both, my friend, you and I both. It is love that betrays us. It is desire that betrays us. We give ourselves over. You and I are alike. Your song has shown me what I need to do. I have learned. I thought perhaps there was something to be redeemed, but no. Love is an illusion. Everyone betrays you. I will sink into this. Thank you."
Sometimes looking about, trying to figure out where the voice is coming from. He stopped playing.
Then it says, "You will be spared." And then the voice is gone.
Uh-oh.
Heartless Don Don. I like the idea that you're trying to sneak your way into the cage to like find a way in, find a way up to it. When Chalu and Da Ming spot you, since they're very specifically looking for you. Does that seem fair of a kind of a hard frame crossing of paths? You are muted. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, it sounds great. Great. So,
So Chalu Daming, you will cross paths with Heartless Don Don. She's kind of skirting around the edges, looking for an opportunity to get up to the cage as this sort of presentation begins.
Oh, so there's like people here, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You can see out around the cages, the cultivation groups have gathered, the monster hunters have gathered. The three masters are with their different sects. There's clearly something happening here.
And Don Don was walking around poking. Well, not we wouldn't have seen her poking at the chains, but
She's trying to see if she can, like, because there are guards around, she's clearly trying to see if she can find an easy way in that uh, uh, minimizes her having to go past these cultivators.
You can see this child, but I'm not sure if Daming understands what's happening. But when I stop, I'm like, excellent. You're here to watch whatever the presentation is?
Oh, Daming is here. Oh, I
Yes.
can't be I can't.
It's
Mm.
yes, yes, Don Don. It's so wonderful that there are so many skilled monster hunters here, because as well as my brother Xiaoming, because presents the perfect opportunity for us to reconcile. As you know, Xiaolu, we had a falling out over his mistaken belief that you were a spirit of some kind in disguise. But with all of these monster hunters here, I'm sure one of them will be able to vouch for the fact that you are in fact as human as the rest of us. And Xiaoming will see the error of his ways, and I can be accepted back into my school.
Oh, I was just speaking with Flickering Breath, and she's, as I said, she even has tools to detect monsters, and I just held her in my arms, actually.
That's wonderful. I'm sure that will be more than enough for Xiaoming if he sees that demonstration by someone
Daming,
as.
I'm going to interrupt you there because there's a particular phrase that Chao Lu just used, held her in my arms. Could I please have you roll inner conflict?
Yes, that is a right. I will roll. Oof. I think. Well, let's see. I'll roll. Yeah, I mean, this is probably metal, right? Probably control.
Sure.
Metal is always a safe bet for inner conflict, assuming it's not your style.
Yeah, it's my.
It's your worst stat, yes.
It's my worst one. It's a 6.
That is a 6. So go ahead and mark metal.
Could burn a bond, but I don't know.
Yeah, do you want to burn a bond to take that up to a 7?
No, I'll mark metal.
Okay.
Haven't failed yet this
We had like
session,
3 inner conflict misses this session. Amazing.
I think that as you are there and you kind of realize that Chao Lu, there's a faraway look perhaps in Chao Lu's eye when he talks about holding her in his arms. And I think that you'll feel kind of a pain in your heart there. And you feel like something has touched you, like in it, like just that moment of heartbreak and not betrayal because you've never said anything, but yet, and you'll feel that, uh, like someone just reached out and touched you to mark you. And Heartless Dada, you will hear this. You and Chaolu and Song and Dong Ming will hear this discussion going outside, and you will hear the masters, and they begin to talk of how the dragon in the north who ravaged the north was stopped not by people from among the mountains, but by others. And they are Calm Wing and Flickering Breath, brothers and sisters who came to us after they had brought down this dragon, and they spoke with all of us, and they gifted each of the mountains with the scales that they had taken from the dragon, divided them equally amongst the mountains to demonstrate their devotion to the ideals that the three mountains have brought. And they have come to ask for a boon. And you will hear the voice of the brother speak out, and Calm Wing says, "My sister and I were made orphans by the wars between the sects years ago that forced the cultivators from the mountains to come down. But we have developed our gifts, have developed our skills, and we have asked that the masters of the mountains permit us to establish a new sect in honor of our grandmother and grandfather who fought in those wars. And this sect will be made up of monster hunters. Those of you who have been lost and wandering will join with us, and we will form a new group here. We will be the Black Mountain Society. We will be here. And there's much murmuring and stuff that is going on there. And everyone's attention, Don, seems to be focused on that.
Exactly. It is my opportunity, so I will take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are going to slip in under the thing?
Yes, I am going to.
Chalu, Daming, you see Heartless go to slip under the curtain into the cage where this person, this thing, this dragon is.
I don't know what's going on, but part of me has to trust Heartless Don here, that she knows what she's doing, and that this Flickering Breath and Calm Wind, being the descendants of Peerless Shallan, I might have, it's complicated, but I'm assuming Don has some plan that will hinder them. So I'm gonna try and find a way to help. But what that manifests as is a good question.
Are you
if-
following her into the cage?
Oh, if that's going to be an option, then yes, let's go.
Yeah. Everyone's attention is focused elsewhere. She doesn't need to turn invisible or worry about the wards right now. Daming, Heartless and Chaolu disappear under the curtains covering the cage and clearly slip inside. What do you do?
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I'm happy to see Flickering Breath kind of humiliated in this moment. So I will not interfere, even though I don't particularly understand why they're doing this.
Absolutely. So you're kind of watching, looking at the gathering of people, the thing that seems to be going on. Chalu, you will slip inside, following behind Heartless. You'll climb up there, and you see that figure, that person that you saw the picture of.
And I think I say, I've returned as I promised. If you promise me, you will come along. I'll carry you away. They will not be able to find you.
Whoa, 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 this is a dragon you are talking about.
Yes.
I, oh, I have questions.
I had to make a promise.
Don't have to make a promise. You made a promise with a dragon?
I made a
You-
promise with a dragon.
You never make promises with dragons. It is the worst idea.
And she sort of turns to
I'm
to him,
right here.
and she kind of goes, I've made promises with dragons before.
Have you now?
I have. She goes, will you make the promise to me that you will hold in any struggles and allow me to carry you away?
No.
See, this is why you don't make promises with dragons.
And no,
Free me from this cage.
that's my intent. But I need to carry you away from it because there's a lot of cultivators here.
I will be fine.
Are
You just
sure?
have to give me my heart.
Wait, they stole your heart? Why did they steal your heart? What powers will it give them?
Turns and he looks at you and he goes, this is not the time for those questions.
Who
Thing is,
stole your heart? Oh, wait, is that why flickering breath is... Oh, gears turning. No, give him the heart.
He'll kill everyone. He said as much. They always go by their word. He goes, please come with me.
Okay, don't give him the heart. Why don't we take the heart?
I have the heart.
I know. Why don't we
Says,
take it and leave? Chow is being serious, but he's not at he's like level of insistence here is like 1%.
And I think that's when you'll start to hear the sound of people pulling on the curtains covering the cage.
So when I go to contain something, can I contain it against his will?
It has to be defeated by you to do that.
Have his heart.
And
Yes,
I
I will
think
do it.
I think that's where we're going to take up next time. Curtains being pulled down, Daming and Song standing outside, Chalu standing there beside, as the dragon's about to be revealed, and everything is about to go in some direction. Sound fair?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Let's take a look at everybody's things and entanglements. I think we hit one of your two entanglements, Heartless Don. Muted.
I agree with you. I did not have time to run into Gonfei.
So 2 points for that.
Okay.
Songtian, I think we referenced and hit both of yours. So that's 3 points. Definitely hit both of yours, Chaolu. And I think we hit both of yours, Daming. Let
Remind us,
us.
do we get XP for fails?
Yes, you get XP on a miss on for this short run.
And it's 3 XP for meeting both entanglement, for engaging with both
Yep.
entanglements. Yep. Got it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Let's do just a quick stars and wishes, things you dug, and things you definitely want to see coming up here. Chow Lu.
First of all, Lau, you monster. First, I just had Gone Fei and just like underlined it several times with OMG, 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 referencing the falling in love with or expressing love for Heartless Don Don. Oh my god, just all the heartstrings. And then with Flickering Breath, first of all, that scene, like I've had intense scenes with Chow Lu in the Lion's Den before, but that might have been one of the most like intense scenes I've played in a tabletop game. That was absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
And then having her be the descendant of Peerless Shallan. I did rewrite my romantic entanglement again, just a minor edit it. So now instead of it being Ash and Twilight being the opposite end, Flickering Breath is the descendant of the villain Peerless Shallan who stole my mother's tail. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved the full earlier in the scene or the session. I loved the full on farce as well. Star to that just whole energy. Kind of a star, but more an apology to Heartless Don Don. I feel like we just bullied Heartless Don Don's character just this whole session. But you're just being a darling, just rolling with it. So my wish is to get some either comeuppance might not be the right word, but for Don Don to get maybe either a little bit of justice, whether that's in dice rolls or
yes.
Justice
for Don Don seems fair. Yeah.
But also, Chow Lu and Don Don being the more biologically supernatural characters, I would like to see them. We're setting up shenanigans for the two of them, so I'm really curious to see. I'd love to see those two get. I'd like to see Chow Lu learn more about Celestials, possibly through Don Don or in general. And yeah, my other wish is more Flickering Breath and all of the chaos that surrounds that. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. We'll check in next time. Is like maybe there's an awareness between the two of you now of the otherworldly nature that you didn't have before. I think that would be fun to play off of. Da Ming.
Yeah, I mean, I think I likewise enjoyed all the hard moves this session. That was a lot of fun, and I like seeing those complications come into play. I think in terms of wishes, I think I'd like to see more opportunities for the supernatural characters and the non-supernatural characters to have those entanglements intersect a bit more.
Okay.
So I think maybe some sort of opportunity for those to interact. We're looking forward to.
Absolutely. Certainly, we'll see if we can get perhaps a revelation of Chow Yue on the table next time. Heartless.
Wow, I have never seen a set of characters so completely dismantle all the things that I had planned. It was really good. So I mean, my dice did it too. So it was between the dice and all of the hijinks on the group. It really went well. That last bit with the song, Jose.
Oh yeah.
Stellar. That was super. The death knell. So there we go. Yeah, this game
You
always delivers.
convince the
Always
song, convince the
deliver.
dragon that love was not possible.
Exactly. Just
Oh, that's
Especially
who the
those who
voice
take in your
was?
heart.
yes, yes,
Oh
you
my
guys. I'm like,
God.
why it worked?
Oh no.
Everything you give your heart to will betray you.
Yes, exactly.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not your
Because the
curse, it's the curse.
dragon's heart
It's
wasn't
just
stolen. He gave it to her.
Oh my.
exactly, and
I
then
just
she
realized
used
that
it.
now. That's amazing.
Yeah, and then she chained him
Parallelisms.
up. So that was
Anything
that-
else?
That whole family is rotten.
you're just now realizing it. Okay, there we go.
uh,
So that was
Heartless.
good stuff.
Anything
Oh.
else wishes wise though?
Oh, I don't know. This is kind of crazy tunes. I'll be interested to see how this goes because it was not to my expectations. So this will be super fun because we're in the middle of it and the curtain's coming down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to punch a dragon in the snoz, I think.
Awesome. And Song Tian.
Yeah, stars, all the things that you folks have mentioned already, the kind of I loved the failed interconflict roles for all of it, all of us who had the luck of having these failed interconflict roles, and the way you twisted the entanglements even tighter and brought more characters in. Yeah, I loved what you did with Ganfei and also with Flickering Breath. So that was amazing. Thank you, Sherry, for being so good natured about not only the bad roles, but all of us piling on you too. And you just keep going along doing your thing. So more power to you. And Elliot, I love the braggadocio, the oh well, I bested her easily enough.
Yes.
And so I'm looking forward to at some point being like getting his comeuppance, because he seems to be taking care of business way too easily. So something bad's got to happen. In terms of wishes, I think I want the curse to let loose soon. I think we have 2 sessions left. Is that correct? So
3.
Oh, we have 3 sessions left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so there's time. Yeah, I want to fill in that
Okay.
little pot.
Oh
that
yeah, I
little
think we can
pocket mine.
definitely get your curse on the table here.
I just wanted to take all the losses that I was presented with, so I didn't have any, any moments to use the curse move.
Right.
So, but I will lean into it next time. So
Awesome. I had a great time. I appreciate everybody going along with the sort of the changes and shifts we had here, and giving me the hard moves. I always dig that. I'm going to stop the recording.